behind designing this route. You want the prisoner to have the least interaction with the person who's going to execute him. You want the prisoner to not see the news, obviously, because.
Is that why it's so dark?
Partly, well, yeah. No, but I think that it's just common sense. You know, you don't want the prisoner to struggle. You want to put the prisoner in the best state of mind before you execute him or her. And so that journey to the trapdoor was designed as such. And although I must say, for dramatic effect, I added that corridor, that last corridor, because I think realistically that corridor would probably not have been there, because that would have been a space where the prisoner would have struggled a little bit, because you would see the hangman at the end and you are walking to your death. But then, you know, we needed some drama, so it has to be in.
Any questions? Maybe the last one or two questions. Yes.
Just out of curiosity, what did he feel on Randy's back? Like he touched it and he smelled it.
Oh, that's actually before he touches his back, he was sort of touching his legs also. You know, it was just some excretion that comes out. Because when it often happens at an execution, the sphincter muscles just relax, and so it's actually quite ugly. Yeah, that was just a detail there. Mm-hmm. As I was speaking to a lot of these people, it occurred to me that the execution is very much a performance. How precise it needs to be and how clean it needs to be. It all adds up to a performance for the spectator. And so the question of who the spectator is and who is this performance for? Why is it shrouded in secrecy? Why is it at 5 a.m.? Why is it at 6 a.m. in the morning? Why does it need to be so precise? Why can't the prisoner struggle? I think it all comes back to a question of conscience, and it's something that people don't want to look at. And so with this film, I just wanted to take people one step at a time, closer and closer to an execution.
Yes.
In America, the victims are allowed to see the execution. And I just want to say a moral thing right now. Since DNA testing came out, they're able to show a lot of people on death row were actually innocent. So that's another reason not to have the death penalty.
Yes, that usually is the one of the primary reasons why people would be against the death penalty. It is how no justice system in the world is infallible, and this is related to my response previously. Singaporeans do think that their justice system is infallible, so that is the other thing. There are no inquiries. There's no question to the effectiveness of our justice system. So that tends to be one of the main problems, I think, when it comes to talking about the death penalty. People don't like to believe that innocent people might have been sent to death.
But I also see it within the film itself. I'm not sure whether it's deliberate, but there are parts the characters actually say that it's painless, that's why it's humane. And then there's another part where you could see the chief clerk, I think, who said that, well, there are a lot of drugs cases coming up, so we need to execute a lot faster to show people. So actually, I do see that there are two sides here. That one side is kind of giving some justification to the death penalty. On the other end, it's also giving justification, but from the other perspective. And I do believe that the Singapore audience is either going to believe one of it, or they well, at least one of it. That's what I think. I mean, majority. I'm not saying that those who are very hardcore and against the death penalty, but I think most Singaporeans will either say, oh yeah, it's painless anyway, or oh yeah, we need to do this because this is a deterrent to these crimes. I mean, like, what do you think?
Well, I think there is an inherent contradiction in a system that advocates a rehabilitative process for prisoners. I mean, in Singapore, we have what they call the Yellow Ribbon Project, which is basically to try and get prisoners integrated back into society, ex-convicts back into society. They have very good training programs for them to find jobs, to find their footing in life again. But we have the death penalty, so and that is a dead end. And I do think, actually, ever since showing the film in Singapore, I've interacted with law enforcement officers, prison guards also. People have come up to me to say how much they appreciated the film because I was able to say in the film what they can't say. It is something that I do think eats away, eats at the conscience, I think, of many individuals.
Okay, we have time for one last question. Anyone would like to do the honors? Yes.
I guess if I'm not the only one, some of the people in the audience would have the same question about the ending. So I might as well ask the question, right? So I'm sure you get, so many people ask you about the ending. I'm not going to ask you to tell us what you mean when you have an ending like this. So you can choose to say, okay, you guys go ahead and interpret it whatever you like. But there is a point, thinking